Hey everyone. So, buying your first home. It's exciting, right? It's probably the biggest purchase you'll ever make. But if I'm being completely honest with you, it can also be a little terrifying. I've walked countless first-time buyers through this process, and I've noticed a pattern. There are certain traps that people fall into over and over again. And the worst part is, these aren't just little oops moments. These are mistakes that can cost you thousands of dollars, or in worst case scenarios, cost you the house entirely. Today, I want to walk you through the 5 biggest mistakes I see first time buyers make so you can dodge them completely and actually enjoy the process. Let's start with a big one, the one that breaks the most hearts. It's shopping without a pre-approval. I get it. It's so much fun to wake up on a Saturday, grab a coffee, and start scrolling through listings online. You see a kitchen you love, a backyard that's perfect for the dog, and you start mentally moving in. But here's the hard truth. Without a pre-approval letter from a lender, those are just window shopping dreams. I've seen buyers fall head over heels for a home only to find out later that it was $50,000 out of their price range. That is a crushing feeling. Even if you can afford it, in a competitive market, a seller isn't even going to look at your offer if you don't have that letter attached. They will choose the person who has their paperwork ready every single time. So do yourself a huge favor, talk to a lender first. Get that hard number. It gives you a budget, it keeps you grounded, and it gives you serious negotiating power when you find the one. The second mistake is what I call the down payment tunnel vision. A lot of first-time homebuyers spend years saving up for the down payment, which is great. But don't forget that buying a house comes with a lot of other price tags attached. You have to be ready for closing costs. We aren't talking about pocket change here. Usually, you're looking at an additional 2 to 5% of the purchase price. Then you have to factor in property taxes, homeowners insurance, and maybe HOA dues if you're looking at a condo or a specific community. And don't forget the physical move. Moving trucks, boxes, pizza for your friends helping you pack. It all adds up. My advice? Try to build a buffer fund. If you can set aside an extra $5,000 to $10,000 on top of your down payment, you are going to sleep so much better at night knowing you aren't scraping the bottom of your bank account the day you get the keys. Now let's talk about inspections. This is a tricky one because when the market gets hot, you might feel pressure to waive the inspection just to make your offer look stronger. Please, hear me when I say this. Don't do it. Waiving an inspection is basically gambling with hundreds of thousands of dollars. You might be buying a house that looks gorgeous on the surface. Fresh paint, new floors, great staging, but underneath it could have serious foundation issues, old plumbing, or a roof that's about to leak. Those are expensive surprises you do not want to inherit. If you absolutely have to be competitive, there are other ways to do it. We can talk about doing an informational-only inspection, where you agree not to ask for small repairs, but you still reserve the right to walk away if the house is a disaster. Just never fly blind on an investment this big. Mistake number 4 is falling in love with the house but ignoring the location. There is an old saying in real estate: you can change the house, but you can't change the lot. And it's true. You can fix an ugly bathroom, you can knock down a wall, but you cannot fix a 45-minute commute that makes you miserable every morning. You can't fix a noisy highway behind your backyard. And you can't change the school district. Before you commit to a house, play detective. Drive the neighborhood on a Friday night. Is it loud? Is it impossible to park? Talk to the neighbors. Get a feel for the vibe. You're buying a lifestyle, not just 4 walls and a roof. Finally, mistake number 5. This one happens right at the finish line. Once you go under contract, there is this feeling of relief. You think, I got the house! And you start planning. You might be tempted to go out and buy that new sectional cell phone credit or lease a new car for the new driveway. Stop. Put the credit card away. Lenders do a final check of your credit right before closing date. If they see a huge new charge or a new credit inquiry, it messes up your debt-to-income ratio. I've literally seen deals fall apart 24 hours before closing because the buyer bought a truck or furniture. Wait until the deed is recorded and the keys are in your hand. Then you can go shopping. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you on a positive note. We just talked a lot about the scary stuff, but how do you actually walk through this process with confidence so you don't end up with buyer's remorse 6 months down the road? It really comes down to a few simple things. First off, give yourself permission not to know everything. No one expects you to be a real estate expert your first time out. Please ask questions about anything that confuses you. That is literally what your agent and lender are there for. Speaking of agents, make sure you find someone who explains the whole picture to you, not just the highlights. You need someone who will point out potential issues, not hype up the pretty kitchen. To keep from getting overwhelmed by all the paperwork and steps, rely on a good old-fashioned checklist. It really helps keep you organized so nothing slips through the cracks. And finally, trust your intuition. Numbers are important, but if you walk into a house and something just feels off, listen to that feeling. It is perfectly okay to slow things down. Remember, you don't have to execute this perfectly. You just need to be prepared. Look, buying a home is a journey, and it's okay not to know everything. That's why you have a team, your lender, your inspector, and your agent. If something feels off or if you don't understand a document, ask questions. Trust your gut. I'm Albert Stepniak, a realtor with Coldwell Banker here in beautiful South Florida. If you found this helpful, do me a favor and hit the like button. It really helps the channel. And if you're currently in the market or just thinking about it, drop a comment below with your biggest fear about buying a home. I'd love to answer your questions in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.